își punea tot timpul punctul de vedere și a început să sufere foarte. Eu am simțit că nu îl iubește. Sorry.
He began to suffer a lot. I felt she didn't love him. It might sound like he's talking about Amanda, but Razvan's dad is actually talking about Razvan's ex-wife. Sounds almost identical to Amanda, doesn't it?
I don't see in her eyes love, and I don't see that she wants to be with me. I was hoping this relationship would be different, but I don't know.
Is history repeating itself? Is Razvan just dating another version of his toxic ex? Well, before we dive into the incredibly awkward meeting between Amanda and Razvan's parents, let's rewind back to the start of this episode. So we left Razvan last week, distancing himself from Amanda. But as soon as he started to pull away, she came springing back. She's put more effort into the relationship in the last 24 hours than she did the entire trip so far. But are Amanda's efforts just too little too late?
We are going to Croatia to introduce Amanda to my family, but we are still not in a good place.
Now, Razvan told Amanda in the last episode that he's no longer 100% sure that he even wants to be in this relationship. So it's really odd that he's flying Amanda to another country to go and meet his parents. Like, why would he want to introduce his parents to someone he's not even sure about? Does the fact that he's going ahead with this meeting mean that his relationship is in a better place?
I feel like since our last fight, Amanda, now she's trying more because she really feels that she might lose me for good.
They do say that it takes almost losing something to really appreciate its value. Maybe that's what's happening here. Either way, it does seem like Razvan is really enjoying watching Amanda grovelling right now. After all, this is a very different Amanda to the one that he's got to know up until this point. So far, she's been sulky, distant, a spoilt brat. But suddenly now he has a happy, affectionate girlfriend. This is the version of Amanda that he probably expected before she arrived.
It's nice to see her care. That gives me a little bit of hope.
Razvan's bar must well and truly be on the floor. Just a day ago, he was mad. He was hurt at the way that Amanda had treated him. Yet a couple of kisses and a smile later, suddenly he has hope for the relationship again. It really feels like Amanda has him wrapped round her little finger.
I'm happy that Razvan is responding positively to my effort. I really can't picture my life without him.
But is being affectionate and nice supposed to be an effort, though? If, for Amanda, acting like a normal girlfriend is her putting in all this effort, then you've got to assume this side of her, the side that Razvan really seems to like, isn't going to last too much longer. So what will that mean for their relationship then? In fact, it seems like Amanda might already be getting tired of all this work that she's putting into being a nice person, because she asks Razvan if he's still upset.
I'm still not upset, I'm just confused, but I cannot pretend to be 100% fine and okay.
Good for Razvan for standing his ground. He really wants Amanda to understand that her behaviour has seriously destabilised their relationship. And now Amanda's realising that it's going to take a bit more than a few kisses to fix what she broke.
It's going to be a lot harder than I thought to convince Razvan that we do have a future together and our relationship is worth fighting for.
I can't believe that Amanda's surprised by this. Did she really expect him to get over it and just act normal, not even 48 hours after their big fight? Amanda really gives off the impression that she's used to getting her own way. She's used to just smiling prettily and getting what she wants. But will that continue to work on Razvan? And more to the point, will his parents see through her? Razvan admits that he's really feeling the pressure.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know, I didn't bring any girl for a long time.
I'm the first girl since your ex-wife.
Yes.
Razvan tells Amanda that for a long time after his divorce, he refused to bring any of his girlfriends back to meet his parents because he didn't want his parents to know if the relationship didn't work out. So taking Amanda to meet his parents is a very big deal for everyone, especially considering that Razvan's mum really didn't get along with his ex-wife. So good luck, Amanda. No pressure.
In my mind, I'm thinking, why didn't his mom like her? Like, what did she do that made that relationship bad between them?
Amanda should probably worry less about the ex-wife and focus a bit more on treating Razvan better herself. I highly doubt his mum is going to be her biggest fan, especially not after she sees the show. But for now, ignorance is bliss, and Razvan's two worlds are about to collide.
Wow! Hey.
Good, how are you?
Amanda is greeted very warmly by Razvan's mum, dad and younger brother. They're immediately ushered to the table for food. It's clear that Razvan's mum has gone to a lot of effort. And thankfully, unlike when she met his friends, Amanda seems to be on her best behaviour today.
Ask her if she wants me to help her with anything.
Vrei să te ajute cu ceva?
No, no, no.
No.
She's being polite, and it's a good move from Amanda to offer to help. She's clearly trying to win some brownie points. But as Razvan's mum puts down the dishes, Amanda faces her first test. Don't forget, she's an incredibly picky eater.
No?
No.
No, you don't like that? Waffles. American waffles.
I don't like packaged food, like really.
She doesn't eat dairy, nothing with GMOs, no shellfish, no packaged food, and she's also been reluctant to try new cuisine. So how will she get on with Razvan's mum's home-cooked Eastern European food?
Good. How do you say good? Bună?
Yeah.
Mă bucur că îi place.
So far, Razvan's mum really seems like a friendly, pleasant person. And forgive me for saying, but her long dark hair actually reminds me a little of Amanda's. But with the pleasantries out of the way and the food on the table, now is where the fun and games start. This is when the real talk happens. Razvan's mum immediately asks about Amanda's children.
My children are so good, well behaved. So it's easy sometimes because they're so good.
Foarte important să ai copii buni.
It's very important to have good children.
Da.
There's something about that answer that doesn't really sit right with me. Like, there's more to your children than how well behaved they are. Like, what's their personality? What do they enjoy doing? How old are they, for a start? It just feels like Amanda's maybe trying a bit too hard to make it seem like, oh, this is something that Razvan will easily be able to deal with. They're well-behaved kids, that won't be a problem. And then she tries to move the conversation on. But the topic she chooses is rather strange. She wants to know why Razvan's mum didn't get along with his ex-wife. Razvan questions her. He asks if she really wants him to translate this. But she does. So he passes on her question to his mum, although the translation is a little inaccurate.
Ask your mother why her and your ex-wife didn't get along that well.
Vor să știe despre fosta soție.
Oh, da.
Adică de ce am divorțat.
Why they divorced and why Razvan's mum specifically didn't get along with her are two different questions, but perhaps they have the same answer. Despite it being a sensitive and clearly a touchy subject, it seems like Razvan's family are willing to talk about it, but it brings out a lot of emotion.
Își punea tot timpul punctul de vedere și a început să sufere foarte. Eu am simțit că nu îl iubește. Sorry.
The wound is clearly still very raw for his family, and you can see where Razvan gets his emotional side from. So it's understandable why, having been through that painful experience, Razvan's parents, despite being friendly, they have their guard up with Amanda. In fact, they reveal there's something about her that they don't quite like.
E că între ei doi există o energie Dar este un pic mai greu.
Their instincts are spot on, because as Razvan's mum rattles off the list of qualities about Razvan's ex that they didn't really like, it's as if they're basically talking about Amanda. She was bossy and demanding, Razvan's mum says. But she can also add rude to the list of Amanda's qualities, because remember how Amanda spoke to Razvan in her first few days in Romania?
You're taking too long with my coffee.
I'm not a barista.
You're a barista today.
Yeah, so I have a feeling that the future isn't exactly going to be smooth sailing between Amanda and Razvan's family. That despite her being on her best behaviour today. Now, talking of good behaviour, Amanda actually initiates a conversation that they probably should have had in private.
Do you think we match?
Well, I don't know. You told me different things.
No, I didn't.
I guess you did.
Look, knowing that they're going through a rough patch right now, why would Amanda think it's a good idea to ask Razvan that, let alone ask him in front of his family? Like, she's trying really hard to smile and make it seem like they're not arguing. She doesn't want Razvan's parents to know that there's a disagreement going on. But as Razvan's dad said, it doesn't take a genius to work out that there's an uneasy energy here.
O impresie 100% bună.
But we don't need to speak about that.
Why
You
don't you
like?
try to change the subject?
What?
Amanda's just so confrontational. There's Razvan politely trying to change the subject, trying his best to make it clear that this is a conversation they can have in private, yet Amanda's still trying to call him out. But to what end? What's she hoping for? Does she want them to argue in front of his family? Like, if Amanda isn't careful, this is exactly the kind of behaviour that could be mistaken for being bossy and demanding.
I don't see in her eyes love, and I don't see that she wants to be with me. I was hoping this relationship would be different, but I don't know.
Based on everything he's seen this trip, and based on how Amanda's acting right now, Razvan, once again, expresses his doubts as to whether or not this relationship will work. He's not sure that Amanda loves him, and I think he's probably coming to the same conclusion that his parents have already come to. Because for all of her attempts at good behaviour, you get the impression Razvan's parents can see right through her.